Red Dead Redemption 2 was definitely one of 2018's most successful video games. It released in October 26th, and within its first few days, sold millions and millions of copies. The game received praise from almost every review it got, and it was one of the most memorable single-player experiences from the last decade. And the story and the characters were so good that it almost felt like it was more of a cinematic experience in a movie than in a video game. On top of all that, the gameplay was wonderful, the world was tons of fun to explore, and above all that, the greatest part of the game for me was all the little secrets and the mysteries that the game had to offer. But now that it's been 6 months since the release of the game, I think there's an even bigger mystery that we've got on our hands. The biggest one yet. Ever since the release of Red Dead Online, we've all been left with somewhat of a bad taste in our mouths. The online mode was a bit rushed, and it came out with completely polar opposite reviews in comparison to the story mode. Everything about the online mode was absolutely terrible. I don't want to go into the details because I'm sure most of you already understand why it did so terribly, but what I can't help but wonder is why on earth Rockstar decided to put microtransactions into a quote-unquote online beta. It's almost as if...
the sweet smell of an all-day sucker!
Another reason to question Rockstar's integrity, as if there wasn't enough already, is why they still had the online mode labeled in beta. It's been 6 months since the game has released. It's almost as if they're deliberately keeping that beta tag slapped on there so that they don't have to face any criticism for their greedy drip-fed content. It acts like a shield. In fact, I don't doubt that people are still going to defend Rockstar in the comments section of this video. It's still in beta. It really isn't. The truth is, Rockstar might not be responsible for the microtransactions. In fact, they could have been forced to implement this sleazy strategy into an unfinished product by their greedy corporate overlord known as Take-Two Games. I don't want to act like I'm a saint, and I don't fully embrace my own capitalistic freedoms, but the fact that they would add the ability to buy in-game currency to buy non-existent virtual items in the online mode is a little silly. I mean, there is literally nothing you can buy with the gold. In fact, there's really not much at all you can do in the online mode. I think that they sat around a round table one day and they talked about, how they could match the success that they had with GTA Online in Red Dead Online, and when they realized that they couldn't because it was a cowboy game, I think they gave up on it before they even started. I think they realized it was doomed from the beginning, in their eyes, so they didn't give it any thought. They hurriedly released the rushed online mode and slapped a beta tag on it, and now they drip feed content to a dwindling, almost non-existent player base. The truth is, the online mode was always destined to fail. But not because playing as a cowboy in the Wild West isn't interesting, but because the story would ultimately eclipse the gameplay. The story mode is really the only thing that people enjoyed about this game. It reminded a lot of us why we enjoyed video games in the first place. In a world crowded with multiplayer games, it can get a little repetitive, and you sort of long for something you used to enjoy in older games. The truth is that Rockstar needs to cut the shit. You can keep drip feeding us games that nobody plays, or hey, maybe you can actually give us updates to the thing that we do still play from time to time. The story mode. Give us small updates like new clothing, or hell, maybe even a couple of new side missions. They literally have weapons exclusive to the online mode. And you gotta wonder, why? Why would they not add the weapons that they've added to the online mode in the story mode as well? I know that there's gonna be someone screaming at me in the comment section about how I couldn't possibly even begin to comprehend the complexities of game development, but the truth is, I genuinely don't care. No, I'm not entitled. I'm just looking at it from a consumer's point of view. Why should I care as the consumer? If they had tiny DLC packs for the story mode that cost a few bucks, I actually might consider buying it. I mean, it's only going to enhance the story mode experience, right? Just imagine small little DLCs they could add.
Morgan, are you okay? What's wrong?
I'm dying, sister.
Okay.
Yeah, I got TB. I got it. Beating a man to death for a few bucks. I've lived a bad life, sister. I had a son. He passed away. I had a girl who loved me. I threw that away. My mama died when I was a kid. And my daddy, well, I watched him die. That weren't soon enough.
My husband died a long time ago. Life is full of pain. But there is also love and beauty. Perhaps you could help somebody. Helping makes you really happy.
But I still don't believe in nothing.
Often, neither do I. But then I meet someone like you, and everything makes sense.
You're too smart for me, sister. I guess I'm afraid.
There is nothing to be afraid of, Mr. Morgan. Take a gamble that love exists and do a loving act.
All aboard? I shall try.
I know you will. Goodbye, goodbye, Mr. Morgan. Goodbye.
Sister?
I think the number one thing that Rockstar has a problem with is their colossal ego. I get the impression that they feel like they don't need to make announcements or communicate with their fan base about the goings-on behind the scenes, as if no matter what they release is going to be god tier, and every gamer in existence is going to buy their DLC. Unfortunately, that's not the truth. The longer you wait, especially the longer you wait with no announcements or anything, the more players you're going to lose. It's just logic. They need to start communicating to their fan base. Tell us what you're working on. Give us a hint to some possible story DLC in the future. Is it happening? Is it not? We really do deserve an answer to this, because I, like many others, don't want to dwindle on the fact that it might happen sometime in the future. I want to know that it will happen. That way I'll know if I should stop anticipating something that might never come out. They don't owe us anything. I mean, we purchased the game as is. I'm just asking them to stop being douchebags to their loyal fan base. Answer the questions we want answers to. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I just kind of wanted to upload this video as a public service announcement about the state of the game. I guess I can add myself to the list of YouTubers who made a rant about Red Dead Redemption 2 finally. I just think that 6 months is a really long time for a game to go without a story DLC. You know, some of you might disagree, but looking back at the time it took them to release Undead Nightmare for Red Dead Redemption 1, it didn't take 6 months. I'm still confident that we're going to get an Undead Nightmare 2 DLC, considering all the hints we've gotten in the story mode. You know, stuff like the mask and the cipher. And, I mean, they did really put a lot of time into those Easter eggs, so it just really makes you think. And they left a lot of mysteries in the game unanswered as well. It seemed like a lot of these mysteries would allude to something, but nothing ever came out of them. I still think that they have answers to all of our questions in a DLC like Undead Nightmare, but only time will tell. Unfortunately, at this time, we don't know if Rockstar is even working on anything, and it really sucks. I just wish they would tell us if they're working on anything, or if they plan on working on anything in the future. So that's it. I know I haven't uploaded for like 3 months now, but what can I say? There really hasn't been much to talk about. I think the only cool thing that happened while I was away was that the official Old Town Road music video was entirely footage of Red Dead Redemption 2. I just thought that that was really cool. But anyways, if you guys ended up enjoying the video, a like and a subscribe are always appreciated, as it only does take a second out of your day to make mine. But with that said, have a wonderful day, and see you in the next one. See ya in like 6 months.